Minglaba. Welcome to the machine learning course. In this course, we are going to learn about machine learning and we will do exercise using Python. Right. Okay, let's start with broad ideas, broad terms, artificial intelligence. Right. Artificial intelligence is a broad term to describe the intelligence by the machine. Right? So idea of artificial intelligence is trying to copy the human intelligence by taking the cognitive skills like learning, problem solving, and relational skills, even the relational skills of human expert in solving the problem, right? So AI has been used almost everywhere. Okay? It has changed a lot of our lifestyle, right? It keep on increasing as well. Some of the most common users in various industries are like chatbots and recommendation systems in e-commerce, right? And fraud detection for financials, personalized healthcare systems, even the personalized education system. They have changed our lifestyle through the autonomous vehicles, right? So many people have been talk about this, like daily routine things. As AI became part of our routines, all these terms are also commonly used, sometimes interchangeably in many conversations. Right? So this brings confusion to many beginners in these areas. So in this particular lesson, we will talk about these terms and terminology that we use in this sector, right? And then we will try to clarify most of our doubt here. Okay. Uh, If you talk about machine learning, deep learning, neural network, artificial intelligence, we can see it this way, right? Machine learning is part of artificial intelligence. Deep learning is part of machine learning. Right? Neural network is like backbone for deep learning algorithms. So sometimes when people compare the one after another, it is not fair because it depends on the situation, depends on the application, depends on the condition. You have to think which method to use. All right. So this course we talk about machine learning. So as mentioned, machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence AI. This is a very important aspect of data science. As data science became very popular lately, machine learning is also become part of our uh, life. All right. So the objective of machine learning is to automate the problem solving process and improve the accuracies. So if we classify machine learning, all right, we can classify into three broad area: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. As mentioned by the name, supervised learning means we will supervise, right? So supervised learning use the label data to train the machine, and then we try to do the process, right, based on the label data information. So whereas unsupervised learning method use the unlabeled data, and we try to get the insight from that. Reinforcement is in between, right, between supervised and unsupervised learning. Reinforcement learning doesn't use the label data like how the supervised learning use. But this model learn as is go by using trial and error, right? So for the reinforcement learning, it's more like playing a game, right? So when you make a step, if it's correct, right? So they will get the feedback from the environment, right? So if based on the environment feedback, this reinforcement learning, we're trying to improve the outcomes, okay, to get the best recommendation, right? Best outcome. So that's a reinforcement learning. So reinforcement learning does include the supervision part where from the environment, right? Get it from the feedback from environment and improve the result. Okay, now we go into the details of supervised learning, right? Supervised learning, the main goal of supervised learning is to predict the outcome for the unseen data using the prior knowledge, right? For example, given the historical sales data, we want to focus the sale amount for next years using the supervised learning, right? Given a pre-level data about the emails, which emails are spam, which emails not the spam, right? Using this level information, prior knowledge that we have, we can use the supervised learning method to train to check if incoming email is a spam or not. So these are the area of supervised learning. Compared to unsupervised learning, supervised learning methods are much more simpler and it is more accurate because it learns from the liver data. But in the reality, we might not have the liver data everywhere, right? So supervised learning method is suitable for the data set where we have the liver information. So if you look at the supervised learning can be divided into two, right? Two problems. One is regression problems, where we try to understand the relationship between target and other features. All right. So, for example, you have a set of data, all right, a set of data about the car price. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to predict the price of a car. So price of the car is our target. Okay. So our price of the car depend on other variables, other features, such as like engine size of the car, body of the car, the model of the car, where does this car is made, where is this car made, right? So these are called independent variables. So in the regression, we try to understand the relationship between this target and all the independent variables. And then we predict the values of this car price, right? The target. We predict the values of this target using these independent parameters. So this is a regression problem. In the regression problem, our outcome is a continuous values, right? It is a number. On the other hand, classification problem. Classification problem is we have the liver data, and then when the new data come, we want to assign this new data to the predefined category. All right. So discrete class liver. For example, we have a set of data about the diabetic patients. All right. So we have a few factors to decide whether this patient is a diabetic or not. Maybe the sugar levels, all right, glucose level, and then blood, and also on. Okay, so these are the features that we will decide whether this patient is has diabetes or not. All right. So when the new patient come, we will classify this patient into diabetic patient or non-diabetic patient, class level 1 or class level 0. All right. So this is called a classification problem. So for supervised learning, we can see two methods, two areas, right? Trying to solve two different problems. One is a regression problems. The other one is a classification problems. All right. So in summary, supervised learning method use the liver data, right, and try to predict the outcome based on their prior knowledge. Supervised learning method can be broadly classified into regression problems and classification problems. Classification methods and regression methods. All right. In the next lesson, we will talk detail about the supervised learning. This lesson gives you a general ideas of what the supervised learning method are. Right? What the supervised learning is.